And hello, sports fans. This is PlayitRight TV. This is Kinito Henson from Manila and out of Hanoi covering the Southeast Asian Games. My partner, Diane Castillo. Hi, Diane. How are
Hi,
things in
Kinito.
How are things in Hanoi?
Wow, super exciting. We've won so many golds, shuffling from one place to another, trying to see as many events as possible. But really so happy to see the Filipinos, our athletes, pushing like crazy. And there were some really, really good wins that we're going to talk about today.
Well, I
Lots of
can't
good
wait to
stuff.
start talking with you about our performance today. We are on live, so you guys out there who are watching, listening, you have any comments, you have any questions, especially for Diane, because she's at the scene. She's in Hanoi covering the Southeast Asian Games. Throw them in, and we'll try to answer all your questions, and we'll try to also give you feedback on your comments. So this is Play It Right TV. And Diane, what's first in our agenda?
Well, I just came back from the track from the main stadium in Hanoi where we had a fantastic performance by Kayla Richardson. She won the
Wow.
gold in the 100 meters. Kinita, it was so, of course, the track events are the centerpiece events of every Southeast Asian Games. And it was so nice to see Kayla win it again. She first won this event in 2015. So this is her second gold in the 100 meters. And, going into this competition, she wasn't really that sure whether, she would make it, although her teammates were saying that she was already running like an 11.3 in practice. Her winning time today was 11.60, and it was good for gold medal, and she was super happy. I think we have an interview with Kayla that we can play right now after her race. So how good does it feel to win it again after so many years?
Feels amazing. Definitely was getting a little bit discouraged throughout these years. Haven't been able to compete as well as I know I can. Just to be able to put it together for today feels amazing. I'm so grateful. I have such a great support system. I'm just so happy.
Is it anywhere near her personal best, Diane? Was it a record?
It wasn't her personal best. She said it wasn't the SEA Games record, but talking to her and her father who's here and her twin sister, who by the way got a silver in the 200 meters, right? They were just crying the whole time after because they had gone through so much, they said, in the last couple of years and months leading up to the SEA Games. Even the travel was a challenge. And there were a lot of times when she had her doubtful moments, like she was doubting herself. In fact, her twin sister was telling me that she had to constantly be talking to her sister and telling her, you can do it, you're strong. And then her coach was here also. Her dad, who was also with her in 2015. Her mom, of course, is from the Philippines, from Zamboanga. She is not here, but her dad is American and she trains in the United States, but super proud to compete for the Philippines. As you saw after, she didn't take off that flag around her shoulders and she just kept it all throughout up to the awarding ceremony. So super congratulations.
Well, what was significant about that victory was that was the Philippines' 37th gold medal. So that puts us just one notch ahead of Indonesia, running number 4. So it's neck and neck now. Are we going to make it to the top 3? What do you think, Diane? It's going to be very close.
It is super close because, I think on Monday after our 10 goals, we were hovering at second, third, but now we're like 3, 4 because Thailand kind of pulled away. So it really just depends on what events are happening every day. Of course, we still have boxing, and then we still have tennis. Hopefully, we get a couple of goals from there. And then we have, of course, the basketball, but those are just single goals. Tonight, though, we lost 3 finals in Taekwondo. So hopefully we can make bawa in some other sports. Sabi ni Bumble Tolentino, POC president, he says he's quite hopeful that we can still take the 3rd place overall position, which was the realistic goal coming into the SEA Games.
Well, let's hope things work out for us until the end. But Diane, the darling of the Southeast Asian Games, as far as the Philippines is concerned, has to be Kaloy Yulo. And for gymnastics as a sport, delivering 7 gold medals for the Philippines, 5 of them coming from Kaloy. I understand that Kaloy's girlfriend flew in from Australia. You had a chance to talk to her. Who is she?
She's super cute also, like Kaloy. Her name is Chloe, right? She's a content creator. She's Filipino. She's been living in Australia for the last couple of years. I believe she's also taking nursing, right? But yeah, she was like one of the inspirations of Kaloy coming into this competition. She was always in the stands cheering for him. She was there. There's the hug right after one of the awarding ceremonies, and they're super sweet. They're super sweet. And you know what, Kinito? It's actually the first time that they have met each other, Chloe and Kaloy. But he's been telling me about her. He told me about her, I think, the last time he visited Manila. But I think they met, I'm not sure how, online. And
yes, they did.
They have a lot of posts, together. They constantly communicate with each other. But this SEA Games was the first time that she actually watched him compete live. So she was always so nervous. She was always cheering, and Kaloy was always waving. And, you could tell that Kaloy was really happy. So I'm sure it was one of the reasons was the presence of Chloe. Do we have an interview with her? I think we do. Let's hear her. Let's hear from her.
But I think before Chloe, I think we might have an interview with Eric Reyes. He's also a gold medalist from athletics. He won the 400-meter hurdles. That's his 5th straight gold medal in that event. So Eric Reyes, certainly a legend in track and field Philippine history.
Congratulations!
I think
another gold in the 400. How does it feel?
Feels great. Just happy I was able to get through the race. Pretty healthy, so just want to continue in the rest of my season and try to get healthy so I can try to make world championships.
And what about competing for the Philippines? Is that something you still want to do in the, let's say, maybe the next SEA Games? Or
yeah, definitely. I'll be for the next SEA Games next year, and I'm trying to make the Olympics one more time. So it's always a blessing to be able to represent the Philippines. So I'm just, hopefully I can make it to the Olympics one more time and run with the flag on my chest.
All right. Congratulations, Mr. Eric Reyes.
Thank you.
wow, getting to talk to Eric Reyes. Here's Chloe.
What can you say, man? 3 goals. But 3 na plus
I'm so proud po. Sobrang nana-nervous pa rin po ako even though na pinanood ko siya sa the first time. Like second time around is still feels like the first time na pinapanood ko siya.
Okay. I think we went ahead of ourselves. We first heard from Eric Reyes. That was actually this afternoon also. But he won the 400 hurdles, Kinito, yesterday. And wow, I mean, this guy has been competing for the Philippines for so long. And it's nice that he still has the passion for it. And they're both, he and Kayla are very, very proud to represent the Philippines. Both of them have Pinay moms and American dads. And so what do you think of Chloe?
Oh, well, she looks like a bundle of energy, blonde hair and all. But yes, Cynthia Carrion, the president of our Gymnastics Association, did say that they met online and meeting each other for the first time in Hanoi. That had to be quite a milestone. I understand that Kaloy took the day off yesterday. Didn't want to talk to anyone from media. He just wanted to spend the day with Chloe. I wonder, Diane, did you get any inkling as to what they did together?
Oh, they were gonna just eat, I think, go around. But he had a flight back to Tokyo already, to Japan, because at first he thought he was gonna be able to come back to the Philippines, but then Cynthia said no because he has to go back because he has the Asian Championships next month or later this month. Oh no, next month, sorry. And then there's the World Championships in England. The one tournament in Doha and then one tournament in England. And si Chloe naman also had a flight, I think yesterday, to go back to Australia. So, well, I'm sure it was hard for them to say goodbye because they were so sweet, like in between events, they'd be in the stands together. And I'm actually really happy for Kaloy. He was quite, he's quite mature. Sometimes maybe you can get like overexcited about meeting your girlfriend for the first time, but no, he stayed super focused and really determined. Actually, sabi niya, he was really more motivated because of her in the stands.
Hey, we've got a comment here from Alejandro Munoz. Want to greet Diane Castillejo, Quinito, and Play It Right. A good evening. Good to see you both the first time live. And prior to that, Alejandro sent a comment about Eric Gray, congratulating him. Here's that comment from Alejandro. Want to greet Eric Gray. Good evening. Congrats, Eric, for winning a gold. So athletics now has 5 gold medals across the sports in the different events. But Diane, parang kulang pa rin, no? Because athletics had 11 gold medals in 2019. We're not complaining, but 5 gold medals, a little bit of a step back from the 11 that athletics pulled in 2019.
Well, it was like so many different conditions, like, here in Vietnam, and then also like the training leading up to the SEA Games, it wasn't like super complete. So, I think the attitude is really more like we just do the best that we can and be happy for what we have and, hope for the best. But I mean, every athlete is really fighting hard, but minsan talagang like Diane has also, I believe, had more international competitions than our Filipino athletes. They also restarted sports earlier in Thailand in many sports. So they might have the edge. And of course, Vietnam, what can you say? The host country is just running away with almost everything. But let's
Diane,
go back to...
Now, I was just going to say that I had a chance to speak with our chef de mission, Ramon Fernandez. And I asked him, because of our medal tally running short of 2019, if he was disappointed. And he said, no, he was not disappointed. He said, under the conditions of pandemic, under the very challenging situation that Filipino athletes faced, all he can say is he's encouraged, he's inspired. The athletes are fighting, they're doing their best, and that's all we can hope for. That's all we can ask for. And so he stopped himself from saying that he was disappointed because we're nowhere close to number one, and we were number one in 2019. But the fact that the athletes are out there doing their best, I think that's really good enough, and it's a good inspiration. But anyway, Diane, I'm sure you have a lot more interviews. I think you have someone with Alea Finnegan, a big surprise in gymnastics. Because, oh, by the way, Carlo Pamintuan is saying good evening, Dean and Diane. Hi there, Carlo.
Hi, Carlo.
Yeah. Talking about Finnegan, Diane, were you surprised? I mean, she came through with a silver in vault and a gold in the women's team gymnastics. That's really quite something.
Well, the women's team gold was really unexpected. I think the last time we won a gold in that event was 30 years ago. That's the awarding ceremony you're seeing now, where Finnegan is receiving her gold in the vault. Okay, that's Cynthia Carrion and POC President Bambol, super proud to give her that medal. Yeah, so Aliyah she won 2 gold medals, and then in the last event 2 days ago in the beam, she also had a super good chance. I felt that her routine was better, okay, but I'm not a judge. They gave the gold to the Malaysian. I felt she could have won a 3rd gold, but she took it really well, and she's just such a sweet girl, really happy with whatever the result is. But yeah, and remember we were talking about how she competed for the US, and then now she really wants to compete for the Philippines. So I think that in the next competitions to come, we can count on Aliyah to to really represent the Philippines. Her mom was here. She's Pinay, like super proud. I'm not sure if I mentioned that she has other siblings who are also into gymnastics. She started gymnastics when she was 8, and she said that competing for the Philippines has given her such a special feeling. She is in the NCAA college gymnastics circuit playing for LSU. Her coach was here. So I think we have some nice prospects from women's gymnastics, and Cynthia is really happy about that.
I'm sure she's ecstatic. I want to correct myself. I mentioned she had a silver in vault. It was a gold in vault, a silver in balance beam, and a gold in women's team. So a
Yes.
total of 7 gold medals for gymnastics. And I'm checking how we did in gymnastics last
We had
time
the
out in
most golds.
2019.
We had the most golds
For
in
sure.
among other countries in gymnastics. And also,
Mhm.
hindi pa tapos yung gymnastics. Cynthia said that they still have the
Rhythmic?
rhythmic that's gonna
Yes,
happen. I
and
think
aerobic.
tomorrow it's gonna start, and she's
That's
expecting
right.
more golds from there.
Yeah,
The
we're hoping.
gymnastics international president Watanabe was also here. He watched Kaloy. Of course, he congratulated him, congratulated Cynthia. He's a big believer of Philippine gymnasts. He says, whatever Japan can do to help the Philippines, and he still believes Kaloy is gonna win a gold in the 2024. And
Wow.
the women's gymnastics is tougher, I think, but hopefully these girls get super inspired to
Mhm.
train harder, and maybe in 2028. Yeah, that's also the
Los
goal for
Angeles.
Cynthia, for Kaloy to be able to have a men's team event qualify to compete with him. So that's going to be the 2028 Los Angeles. I also wanted to mention before we move to the next sport about the maturity of Kaloy right now. He was talking about how he's saving his money. He's going to get at least 1.5 million pesos. He's in touch with his parents. They couldn't be here. He gave them a nice message saying, sorry, hindi ko nakuha yung 7, 5 lang, but he's very determined, and the loss in the Olympics really helped him to realize how much gymnastics means to him. And of course, Coach Mune Quinito is so dedicated, and it's just nice to have a good team around him. And it's nice to be winning in gymnastics again.
Mhm. Well, it's actually not a bad performance for Kaloy, because prior to the Southeast Asian Games, the prediction of Cynthia was 4 golds for Kaloy.
For
So he
Kaloy, right?
overshot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he overshot that. He picked up 5. But back in 2019, gymnastics brought only 3 gold medals to the Philippines. So they've already overshot what they did in 2019. We've got some comments from some of our viewers from NJ Cospe. Always great to watch you live. And prior to that, there was a comment from James Morden. Here it is. Kudos sa inyo. Thanks for the sports update, lalo na sa Gilas. We're going to talk about basketball a little bit later on. Watching from Abu Dhabi. All right.
Hi.
Now, hold on. All you
Like,
viewers.
share, and subscribe.
Right. Yeah. At the end of this show, we're going to show you a medal tally, the updated medal tally. We also want to give you a glimpse of the sport gold top notchers for the Philippines. There are 3. And I want you to start thinking now, guessing in your minds, what could those sports be? The 3 sports that have given us the most gold medals so far. You'll find out before this show ends. Here's another one, Diane, from Mark Paul Fercol. Let's go, Philippines!
Yes.
And another one from Clark McLaren Wayne. Thank you for updates. How about billiards? Yeah, we're going to talk about billiards. We have a special video on Bata Reyes that's coming right up. But before that, Diane, your favorite sport, tennis. You talked to the defending men's doubles champions, and Tret Yui, of course, and Nino Alcantara. Sorry, Jason Patrombon and Nino Alcantara. And what's your reading about tennis?
Well, Jason Patrombon and Nino Alcantara won the doubles gold in 2019. They beat Tret Yui and Ruben Gonzalez in the final. They are all here and still competing in doubles. I talked to them after their first round win, and here's how they feel on whether they can retain the gold in men's doubles. All right. SEA Games tennis with the defending champions in doubles. Nino Alcantara, Jason Patrambon. They just won their first round today. Nino.
Laban Pilipinas. We're ready. We're ready to defend our title, and hopefully we'll do good, but we'll take it one match at a time. So.
Yeah, kumusta naman yung conditions dito, Jason? Para sa iyo.
So far okay naman po. Okay yung weather, so yeah, galingan namin. Yan.
Kailangan. Okay, let's go tennis.
Laban.
I'm still hoping for a couple of goals from tennis, of course, the men's doubles. And then I'm really, really hoping that Alex Ayala will win the gold in the women's singles. She won her second match today. She's in the semifinal. She beat a Malaysian today. It was an easy first round for her yesterday against opponent from Laos. So she won yesterday in straight sets and then today again in straight sets. So tomorrow or the next day is going to be the semifinals. So just 2 more wins, but it's going to be tough. There's one Vietnamese who is ranked higher than her in the WTA, and Kum Kum, the other player from Thailand, who beat her in the team event, but she beat her in the professional tournament. So, you know, in tennis kasi, ganyan lang yan. Minsan panalo, minsan talo. But the conditions, I feel, suit Alex's game. The court is very fast, and she has a power game, so that suits her. It's super humid. Like, I was out there, like, sweating, and I was just watching on the sideline. It's super humid, but sabi nga ni Alex, she's already been acclimatized to it because she was in Manila, like, 2 weeks ago to get used to the weather. Of course, our boys are used to it. Si Jason, si Nino naman has been traveling. He's such a seasoned player. You know, he can adjust to anything. Tret and Ruben are very enthusiastic and inspired to continue to play for the Philippines. So I'm hoping that we can win a gold in, let's see, women's singles, mixed doubles. Alex is playing with Tret, men's doubles, and then singles, men's singles, right? I mean, anything can happen in tennis. Jed Olivares won his first round match today, but Jason lost. So Jason is out of the men's singles, but Jed Olivares is still our hope in the men's singles for tennis.
Well, there are 7 gold medals at stake in tennis, so we're hoping for the best, especially since we only got 1 gold medal in tennis in 2019. Diane, we've got a lot of comments. This one coming from Tony Baluntang. Nice to watch your live show. Mabuhay, watching from Afghanistan.
Wow.
Please give me a update about the medal tally. Okay, the medal tally will come later in the show. We're going to give you a rundown of how every country is doing so far. I think prior to that, we had another comment asking about Alex Ayala. Kanya tama-tama, Diane, yung update mo kay Alex Ayala. She has won 2 matches so far. There it is from Paul Pascual II. Any update from Alex Ayala? Well, you heard it straight from Diane Castillejo out of Hanoi, covering the Southeast Asian Games. And Diane, right now, a sport that is very close to our hearts. It's basketball. And
it's your sport.
3-0. Yeah, 3-0. Here's another comment. James Patrick Borton. Kudo sa inyo. Thanks for the sports update. Lalo na sa Gilas, watching from Abu Dhabi. Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. But another one. Question. During Gilas versus Indonesia, would you know if Bolden is playing? Okay, Bolden has not played yet. He's the former Cleveland Cavaliers 6'10" center, who's the naturalized player for Indonesia. He has not played yet. Apparently, there are some back issues that are bothering him. But there are other quote-unquote naturalized player, Dam Diagne of Senegal, also has not played. So we're wondering if there are questions about the eligibility of these players, because you can only have 1 naturalized player. And they have a Senegalese who I understand got his Indonesian passport before he was 16. He was recruited out of Africa when he was 15 years old. Can you imagine, forward-looking? But
wow.
He has absolutely no drop of Indonesian blood. But he's in the lineup, and his name is Dam Diagne. And Marcus Bolden, of course, is there. Brandon Jawato got his Indonesian passport when he was 27 years old. He was born in California. We know that he has Indonesian blood, but if that's the rule, that you can get your passport anytime, well, let's bring in Stanley Pringle and Christian Sanhardi. We're abiding by the FIBA rules. So, well, let's see how it goes. We will be playing Indonesia in our final game on Sunday. But before that, Diane, Philippines will be playing Vietnam tomorrow Want to
Oh
give you
my
an update
gosh.
because Vietnam is a host country. The
Oh
home
yeah.
crowd will be there cheering them on.
Wild, wild. They're wild.
They also have 4 Vietnamese Americans. Let me tell you a little bit about some of those Vietnamese Americans. One of them is Corey Cilia, who played for the University of California at Santa Cruz, and he's an exceptional passer. He's only 5'7", but he's a point guard and he runs the show. Their coach is Kevin Yurkus. He's also an American, and they've got a player named Justin Young, and they've tried to disguise him because they're calling him now Vin Luan Duong. But
Mm.
we researched on who he really is, and his name is Justin Young. He's 6'4", and he was born in the U.S. So we want to find out exactly what's going on. They have another player from the U.S., Christian Juzang, and he played 4 years for Harvard University. So those are some of the players that we're going to be looking out for. There's another one, Chris Dierker, who was in their 3-on-3 silver medal team. So Vietnam is going to be a challenge. The Philippines barely scraped past Thailand in the first game, 76-73. But since then, we've whitewashed Cambodia and Singapore tonight. So we're facing Vietnam tomorrow with a 3-0 record. And then we have a rest day on Friday. Saturday, we play Malaysia. And Sunday, the Philippines basketball team, men's, will play the final match against Indonesia.
Well, I
And
was able to
Diane,
watch the I was able to watch the
yeah,
Cambodia game yesterday. I know it wasn't much of a challenge for the Gilas team because they won like more 70 points difference, I think. I was gonna ask you, Kinito, is that the largest margin?
probably one of the largest margins. Yeah, we've been
Yeah, it
seeing
was.
blowouts. I think we beat Singapore by 51 points. Here's a question, by the way, from Winner John Singkay. Bakit ang daming naturalized player ng Thailand? Yan din ang hindi ko maintindihan. And they're changing names
Mm.
para, I guess, to throw off people so that those who are Googling and those who are researching will not be able to find these players. Like Freddie Lish is listed in the Thai lineup. His actual name is Freddie Goldstein. And
Hmm.
if you look at this in his records, he's an American Israeli. So how can he be playing for Thailand? I mean, it's a big question mark.
Well, when I
But
talked to Chot
yeah,
Reyes, like before they played Thailand, right before the
mhm,
Thailand game, I was able to chat to him. He was quite like they were saying like we don't know these players. He knows them individually, but he didn't know how they play. That he was talking about that they have all these
mhm.
half naturalized players. So he said they really had to be on their toes. They didn't get as much practice time as they needed. So they're like the conditions are far from ideal for them. Like example, of course, they didn't get to practice as much as he would have wanted to, and then the practice courts are not the same as the competition court, right? He said
Mhm.
that it's not like the maple wood in the actual playing court, so it's different. And then of course, like little things like before the game there's no like, because there's only 2 locker rooms and the games are like back to back to back, so they had to like be in the stands lang doing their warm up, taping their feet like that, so they have to do parang makeshift venues. But and then of course they're playing every day, but it is what it is. So the players naman are up for it. It's not the best conditions. Kiefer and 30 naman, I also talked to them, and of course they're so excited about playing together and playing for the national team. Kiefer, I think this is already his sixth SEA Games. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's Kiefer. That was Kiefer and 30 last night after the game. And also a special shout out to their mom, Mosey, who was in the stand. She was crying. She was so emotional. She said it's been a dream for her to be able to watch her sons play together in the SEA Games. So good job. But tomorrow,
Yeah.
Kinita, I was gonna say,
Mhm.
that this Vietnam crowd, I don't know if it will even matter. You would know better, but man, when their athletes are competing, they really shout and scream. Okay, so it's gonna be really loud tomorrow. It's gonna be so exciting. The game is 8 p.m. Vietnam time, so I think that's 9 p.m. Manila time. So
That's
that's
gonna
gonna
be
be
wild.
exciting to watch.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question from Clark McLaren Wayne. Is SEA Games basketball under FIBA rules? Yes. It didn't used to be in the past, the Southeast Asian Games Federation would allow players to play for the national team just using a passport. But starting this year, they're using FIBA eligibility rules, which is the reason why in the Philippine team, we only have one player who is considered naturalized, and he's not really even a full foreigner. Mo Tautua is actually our naturalized player because he received his Philippine passport after 16, because that is a FIBA rule. Now, I don't know why and how the other countries are somehow getting away from that rule and doing things on their own. Here's a question from Blue Archer. Is Indonesia hiding Marcus Bolden until their game with the Philippines? It's very, very possible, because why would they bring in a Marcus Bolden and they're paying him a lot of money? This guy's a former Duke University player, a former Cleveland Cavaliers player, although he only played 7 games over 2 seasons in the NBA. Maybe they're hiding him. Maybe they're also hiding Dame Diagne of Senegal. They've been playing Brandon Jawato, but we're wondering why is Bolden not playing? They say he's injured. They say he has back issues. But what about the Senegalese player? Maybe there is an inquiry, or maybe they are being investigated because of eligibility issues. We don't know. But we'll find out on Sunday whether Bolden will play. But Coach Reyes said that he's prepared for Bolden, which is the reason why he brought in Mo Tautua. He feels that Mo will be able to match up against Bolden. And Diane, I think you had a nice interview with Coach Chot.
Yeah, I was able to talk to him right after the game against Cambodia. That's right.
We actually didn't think about the margin. All we talked about here was just making sure that we stay sharp, we play at our level, and we just respect the game. And that means also respecting the opponents.
Coach, yung strong start, how much of that was parang trying to make?
Yeah, that was Coach Reyes, looking sharp as usual. And Diane, let's cross over to billiards now. And Rubilin Amit got her 9th gold medal in the Southeast Asian Games. She's been competing since 2005. Is she ever going to be dethroned? You had a chance to speak with her, Diane.
Yeah, I talked to Rubilen after she won her gold, and I didn't realize how much it meant to her till after I spoke to her, because she's won so many golds. So, but she was actually crying. She said this is like the best gold for her, because apparently she hasn't really been able to practice much this last couple of years during COVID. And leading up to this SEA Games, her coach, Django Bustamante, was even telling her that her game has dropped. So she had no expectations whatsoever coming into the SEA Games. She just wanted to compete. And when she already won the bronze, when she was assured of the bronze, because both semifinalists are given the bronze medal, she was so happy na. So to win the gold, she was like, wow, what a super bonus. So let's have a listen to Rubilen Amit after winning the gold. So you mean even the bronze, masaya ka na?
Yes po. As parang at least may medal na ako.
Wow. So but you beat your opponent in the final super easy, 7-2?
Yes, 7-2. But my first match po kasi I won ng 7-6. But I was just very lucky. The Singaporean na I played against, si Charlene Chai. She's also a veteran na rin eh. I just fluked the 4 balls sa deciding game, which made me win the match. Pero it could have gone either way. I felt na actually sa kanya nga dapat yung match na yun.
Wow.
Now, I watched her gold medal match, Diane, and that was super exciting. The challenger made a crucial error. She had a pocket shot, and it sort of like bounced out. And then that gave the opening for Rubilin to just clean up. And she was amazing in that finish to win the gold. Now, you also spoke with another billiards legend, Diane. And Bata Reyes, I understand, was mobbed in Hanoi.
Wow, si Bata Reyes is like a rock star here. So he's only competing in the Carom event. right?
Mhm.
And the first day he came for his match a couple days ago, there was there wasn't any barricade or anything. Apparently, I wasn't there, but the fans just came in and ran to him, and so since then they've put security around him. He walks around with security here in the venue. They have a
Okay.
harang na. They have a harang na. And then like today was really crazy. So I went there and you know, I mean, during the game, Kinito, like I said, these Vietnamese are super like wild cheering for their own athletes, right? But today,
Uh-huh.
Efren Bata was competing against one of the best in the world in Carom, a Vietnamese, because apparently the Vietnamese billiards players are, if not one of the best in the world, they are the world champions. They were cheering for the Vietnamese, but every time Efren Bata would like hit an amazing shot, they would cheer. And when he would miss, they would also sigh like, oh. So parang it really showed how much they respected him, how much they loved him. And he lost, okay? Efren Bata lost today. He took the bronze because semi-finalists win the bronze. And then coming out of the billiards hall, the fans were there in the barricade and shouting, screaming, but the security wouldn't let him go to them because ayaw nilang maulit yung nangyari on the first day na talagang parang, like really wild over him. So baka may mangyari pa. He's 67 years old. He's the oldest athlete competing in the Southeast Asian Games.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was so fun. But I'm not sure if we have that video where one of the fans drew a special charcoal portrait of Efren.
Can you give a sign for my friend for me? Is it picture? Yeah. I need a sign. Yeah, thank you. Give it to my friend, please. Thank you.
Wow.
So because
amazing, Diane.
he couldn't get through. You can see they weren't allowing him, right? And Efren had just passed. I actually got it and I made Efren sign it kasi wow, the passion talaga to have Efren sign that. They were screaming the whole time and we had to wait a while to get him to sign it, pero naghintay talaga sila and they were so happy. So Efren is a rock star. He loves it here in Vietnam. He might be back here.
That's amazing. Okay, now from billiards, let's go over to Taekwondo. In 2019, Taekwondo delivered 8 gold medals for the Philippines, but here in Hanoi, or rather there in Hanoi, so far they've only delivered 2. And one of the gold medalists, Kurt Barbosa, you had a chance to speak with him. But before that, here's a comment from Lorena Orig. Good evening, po, watching from Hong Kong. More power to your show and congratulations to all Filipino athletes, Laban Pilipinas. So, Diane, this is amazing because we're getting comments now from Abu Dhabi, from Afghanistan, from Hong Kong. This is from all over the world. And it's crazy. I think it's wonderful that we're getting such a wide worldwide coverage. Here's something else. Oh my gosh, it's from Monvic from France. Hi, Paul Mamser. I'm watching from France. This is unbelievable. We're reaching out to Filipinos all over the world, and you know what? It's sports that gets everyone together.
Definitely.
Competition. Just watching our athletes perform just gives us so much pride and honor.
Such a lift.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, Kirito, before we move to Taekwondo, I just quickly want to mention, because it also just happened today. I witnessed the gold medal in the men's 9-ball where the U.S. Open champion Carlo Biado, Filipino, was upset by another Filipino, Johan Chua. Okay, and it was a fantastic game. Chua was leading like most of the time, and then Biado had his chances, but then he missed and he made a fantastic shot. So they were back and forth, and Chua ended up winning. He took the gold, so gold, silver for the Philippines. And after the win, he just dropped to the floor. He was crying. He was so emotional, and I was surprised because throughout the game, I was commenting and saying, "Wow, this guy Chua, he's so calm. Like he's so like cool lang. He's playing against Carlo Biado." I said, siguro because they're Philippines, versus Philippines. But yung pala, after, he told me that he broke down because he was so nervous during the match because it's been his dream to win a SEA Games gold. He's won 3 bronze medals na pala. And then it was his father's dream also for him to win the SEA Games gold. His dad started him in billiards and unfortunately passed away. So he offered the gold medal to his dad. It was so sweet. I was so happy for him. And Carlo Biado actually said that before the tournament, he dreamt that Chua would win. By the way, they're also roommates. Yeah. And he said, by the way, they're also roommates here. So Biado was like so like cool. I'm so happy for him. Masaya ako basta sa Pilipinas pa rin. So nice.
Yeah, that's what you call brotherly competition. Diane, we're getting some comments. I saw a comment coming from Singapore, and prior to that, there was a comment coming from France, here from Canada, from Montreal, from Mars Rinalde. Lisa de Guzman is watching from Singapore. Hi to all the sports fans all over the world. From Romel Zaragoza, watching from Saudi Arabia. Any update po from our women basketball? Okay, for women basketball in 3x3, hindi po nagwagi ang ating Philippine team. Wala po silang podium finish. They really miss the services of Jack Animam. But in 5-on-5 basketball, we're still undefeated. We're 2-0. And we're hoping that makabawi ang Philippine women's basketball team under Coach Pat Aquino. All right. And Diane, you were talking about Kurt. Here's another one. Marites de Guzman watching from Kuwait. My gosh.
Wow, dami na.
All over the world. And
sports talaga brings Filipinos together wherever they are.
Here's another one from Vince Gabriel Ubaldo watching from Bicol. Let's go. And from Roel Obaob from Taiwan. Why Pringle, Mikey Williams of TNT not in the lineup? Thailand and Indians are all Americans. I think FIBA rule apply in the SEA Games basketball, only apply in the Philippines. That's the sad reality. Mikey Williams and Pringle secured their Philippine passports after they were 16. It's a FIBA rule that you need to get your Philippine passports before 16. Pringle actually played for the Philippine team previously in the SEA Games, but they're using FIBA rules for the first time in the SEA Games basketball this year. And from Nemencio Salvador, hi po Ma'am Diane and Sir Quinito, watching Saudi Arabia. Mabuhay po kayo and mabuhay ka rin. Nemencio and, or rather Nemencio, and for all the sports fans who are watching, thank you so much. Watching from Malaysia, ZXY, that's Balski. And send in your comments, and we certainly are mentioning you from Jod MM. Ano pa po ang update sa women's volleyball team? May chance pa ba magka-medalya? And Diane, what about our women's volleyball team?
Okay, so our women's volleyball team has a crucial game tomorrow, Thursday. They have to beat host Vietnam to get a chance of winning a medal. So they have a crucial game coming up. Unfortunately, volleyball is like 3 hours away. I'm not going to be able to go, but I know that for sure that game is going to be aired. So let's pray for our women's volleyball team.
Now remember, women's volleyball team did not medal in the last Southeast Asian Games in 2019. What about beach volleyball? I think we're in contention.
We've still in contention in beach volleyball, yes.
Mm-hmm. We've got 2 teams in women's beach volleyball. Same thing with the men's beach volleyball. So we're hoping for the best. Marami po bang sports to be played. No, wrestling, there's karate, sepak takraw, esports, tennis, weightlifting. Those are sports where we could medal. So hang on to your seats. Let's hope for the best. And here's something from Gerald Opda. Sir, good evening. Ano po ang update ng mga boxers natin? Okay, we'll talk about boxing later on, but just to give you a sneak preview, 9 Filipino boxers out of 9 are in the semifinals. So all of them are assured of a bronze medal, and that's super good news. But the bad news is one of our boxers, si Bakdayan, was ruled out because her division, the 75 kilogram division, was scrapped last minute. Dadalwa lang kasi ang competitors. They also scrapped the 69 kilograms. The 69 kilograms also had 2 competitors. But the Thai competitor in 69 actually offered to go up to 75 para lang matuloy yung 75.
Aww.
But I don't know why the organizers didn't do it. It would have been nice to see Bakdayan against a Thai Olympian and the Vietnamese fight it out. But well, they've scrapped that, and it's just so sad that athletes who train so hard to participate
Yeah.
in the Southeast Asian Games all of a sudden find themselves not able to participate because of some late withdrawals. And the ABAP Secretary General Marcos Manalo was telling me that athletes by number and athletes by name were submitted months ago. So they should have anticipated something like this. Why do it
Right.
last week when the athletes
Right.
are already in Vietnam? It's just
Yeah,
an
that's
injustice.
brutal. That's brutal.
It's so unfair.
So painful. Yeah.
Anyway, Diane, you've got something on Kurt Barbosa?
Kurt Barbosa, our Olympian, won a gold here in the Southeast Asian Games. He was
Yes.
super emotional. There he is with Bumble Tolentino, POC president, and the other members of the Philippine delegation. You can see him there to the right of Bumble with his gold medal. And he was just over the moon about winning his gold. He had to drop 4 kilos because he competed in the 58 kilogram category in the Olympics, and here he competed at 54. So he said, sobrang sacrifice, sobrang hirap, pero ang sarap talaga manalo. I think we have a soundbite from Kurt. Let's see.
Kurt Barbosa. Let's hope we have him on tape. Or maybe not. Okay, let's continue. This one's from Sabio Reyes. Sir, meron pa po tayong medals sa dance sport. Okay, dance sports has delivered 5 gold medals for us. Previously, dance sport delivered 10 gold medals in 2015. So we're down to just 5, but 5 is still a good number. Now, Diane, will give you an update on boxing. Nesty Patesha won via unanimous decision against Myanmar's Kate Thu Nguyen in the quarterfinals, and she will be up against Vietnam's Tran Thi Linh in the semifinals on May 20th. That's Nesty Patesha, our silver medalist in the Tokyo Olympics. And with this win, all 9 Filipino boxers are in the semifinals and assured of medals. That's great news for Philippine boxing.
Yeah, we came here with 14, but 1 disqualified. So boxing is also a difficult event, the Bakinito, because they have to weigh in every day, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course, yes.
Here in the SEA Games competition, they've been training in Thailand, and we have high hopes for our boxers. How many goals do you think we can
we've
win
got
from
9
boxing?
fighters in Vietnam. I'm hoping that we clear at least 5. We get 5 gold medals out of boxing. That will certainly boost our standing in the medal tally. And talking about the medal tally, I think it's time, Diane, that we show our viewers the latest medal tally. And here it is. Vietnam is number 1 at 122 golds. Thailand is next at 50. Philippines is up just by 1 solitary gold medal, 37, over Indonesia. And then Singapore is right there at number 5 with 35. So Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, I expect a neck-to-neck battle for 3rd place all the way to the last day. So hang on to your seats. It's going to be a wild ride to the finish. And now, this is something interesting, Diane. Maybe you can comment on this. We chose the top 3 sports that had delivered the most gold medals for the Philippines. Gymnastics with 7 is at number 1, and that's because Kaloy Yulo has delivered 5 gold medals. Athletics has 5, but as I mentioned previously, athletics had 11 in 2019. Dance sport has 5. Dance sport had 10 in 2019. So it's really gymnastics that has made a major improvement, because they are +4 in gold medals, because they only had 3 in 2019. Now they have 7. And as you mentioned, Diane, meron pa tayong rhythmic gymnastics, aerobic gymnastics na parating pa lang. So we may be able to increase our gold medal haul in gymnastics.
Yeah. So, and then maybe, of course, we have one sport that can maybe pass gymnastics, and that's boxing. So if Yeah, but it's gonna be tough to beat gymnastics. I don't know how many events we're competing in wrestling and karate, if we can surpass that, but definitely these sports have really delivered: gymnastics, athletics, and dance sport. The dance sport, though, they're kind of a little, I mean, I, medyo below target yung 5 golds, because I was actually on the same flight as them here, and they were hoping for 12, pero wala mahirap rin yung conditions here, they were saying. And the coach was telling me that a lot of the other athletes also had been to Europe longer for training. So yung dance sport, they really train in Europe because that's where the highest level of dance sport is. So hinahabol syempre yung Filipinos because we're the best in our expression, in our artistic form, and just the passion that comes out of our dancing. So, but 5 is still a super good number. I'm not disappointed. I'm still really happy about all those 5 gold medals.
But what about esports? For esports, there are 10 gold medals at stake. We had 3 in 2019, and maybe esports can deliver some gold medals for us.
I don't know yet when the events are for esports. I know that they're ongoing, but I'll find out when the finals are of esports and what our medal prospects are from there. But yeah, that could be a medal-rich sport for the Philippines also.
Now, we've got a tally here of our gold medalists for the day. Maybe we can show that list of our gold medalists for today, May 18, and that's our medal standings. And here we are. These are our gold medalists. And so far, we've gotten 37. These are our gold medalists, Diane, for today. So you mentioned Johan Chua. Yeah, and you talked to Kayla Richardson. And also, oh, what a surprise. Archery, Diane, women's team recurve.
Yeah, that's
Were you
right.
surprised with that?
Well, actually, they're staying in the same hotel that I'm staying in, the archery team.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, I met them at the elevator. They were coming down. They were very enthusiastic, very, very inspired, and they felt they had a good chance. They weren't really one of those that were predicted to win, but yes, I'm so happy for them, and hopefully I get to see them again tomorrow at breakfast. Have a chat with them. Congratulations to our archery team.
Yeah, congratulations to our gold medalists for the day. What about our silver medalists for the day? And
so
in
many.
total, we've gotten 48 silver medals. And these are our silver medalists for the day. By the way, JM Siasat, our very good friend, chiming in with a comment. Hi there, JM. And here are our silver medalists. That's from Taekwondo, baby Jessica Canabal. And there's wrestling, 2 from wrestling. And then Richard Gonzalez for table tennis, Taekwondo with 2, another one from wrestling, and Carlo Biado, of course, losing to Johan Chua in the billiard sportsmen's 9-ball pool singles.
Okay, so wait. Speaking about esports,
there's more.
We just.
Okay, here's
Finito,
the bronze list. Yeah. What is it, Diane?
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that these are our bronze medalists for the day. Just for today, these are our bronze medalists. Also, Jamie Lim got the bronze medal in kumite. So we see that here now. But the big disappointment is it looks like Juna Chuki did not get a medal in karate, minus 50 kilograms women's. But Jamie Lim, the defending gold medalist in the plus 61, she has dropped down to minus 61, and she takes home a bronze. And that happened today. And also Joko Vasquez, a bronze medal in men's individual kata. So we're getting updated ourselves with this list here.
We have a gold medal. We have a gold medal in esports just now. The news just came in. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Women's team, Grand Sky Iris. Grand Sky Iris won the first gold for the Philippines in esports. They beat Singapore. So we have we're gonna add 1 gold to that medal tally that we just showed you.
Okay, that's 38 now. That's 38 and counting. Now we've got the schedule of what's going to happen tomorrow, Diane. There's a lot of chess events, and then there's karate women's team kata. There's badminton sepak takraw. There's bowling men's team of 4, and a lot of badminton matches. And let's see the second page of our schedule. There's karate, and there's tennis. Oh, the men's doubles. That's going to be an interesting one. Philippines versus Malaysia. More karate, and there's tennis as well. Men's singles quarterfinals. So a lot of tennis, and then there's judo. And do we have a third page for our schedule? Okay, more judo. There's bowling, women's team of 4, taekwondo, muay, and badminton, and the mixed doubles. Philippines versus Thailand. That'll be at 3:30 p.m. Wow, we've got a loaded schedule tomorrow, Diane. I can almost guess where you're going to be. You're certainly going to be there where the tennis action is.
it's a hard pick. Yeah, tennis is actually almost an hour and a half away. So yeah, but usually it's in the morning. But there's no singles tomorrow. There's no women's singles tomorrow. I just got the schedule. We have mixed doubles, men's doubles.
Okay.
Although I stand corrected, there is no women's singles tomorrow, but there is men's singles. So Jed Olivares will be playing tomorrow in the quarterfinals, because it starts at the round of 16. Because the women's are already in the semis. So I think Alex is already assured of a bronze in her first, but I know she's going for gold.
Wow. Here's a comment from Hodge Rev Ned, watching from Taiwan. What if Gilas loses to Vietnam and Vietnam loses to Indonesia and Indonesia loses to Gilas? Who wins the gold? Thank you. Wow, that's a lot of ifs.
You're gonna figure it out. It's just a single round robin, eh?
That's
single
right.
Round robin.
Walang playoff ito. There is no championship round. There will be no playoffs. There will be no semifinals, quarterfinals, or final. It'll be a simple single round robin. There are 7 teams. Each one plays only once in this single round robin, and whoever winds up on top is going to be the champion. And we're hoping it'll be the Philippines. So, hindi na yung Gilas will lose to Vietnam. I think we're going to beat Vietnam. We're going to go all the way to the gold medal match, and I think we're going to end up undefeated. At least that's what we're hoping. And here's something from JK Sanapo. Hi po, eligible ba yung mga half Americans ng Thai sa FIBA sanctioned games? Parang dumami bigla eh. Thanks po. Yun ang nakakapagtaka, because parang biglang dumami, no? You also have Moses Morgan from DePaul playing for the Thai national team, and so we're wondering what's going on. There has to be at least some questions being raised as to the eligibility of some of these players, because tayo sa Pilipinas, we're sticking to the rules. Only foreigners who acquire their passports before 16 are eligible, and we only have one naturalized player, and that is Mo Tautua. Yeah, how about swimming po? Well, for swimming, Diane, the big news is I think we won our first women's gold medal in swimming in 29 years. And
yeah, we won 1 gold medal in backstroke, so women's event.
Meters. Chloe Isleta getting the job done in 200 meters backstroke, and that is an amazing achievement, because anytime you break through in swimming, that's a feat, because Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore especially, those are powerhouses in swimming in our region. Yeah, so Diane, we're almost reaching the 1 hour mark. I know you're tired. You must be so exhausted going from one venue to the other. I don't envy you, but how I wish I could be there to experience what you're experiencing. But the fact that you're there experiencing all these events and sharing what you're seeing with our viewers is just a big thing. And with this format of ours, we're doing PlayitRight TV live. It gives an opportunity for our viewers to interact with us firsthand. And here's another one. Voltaire Castillo. Dean Quinito, is Michael Phillips ba eligible sa Gilas? Unfortunately, he received his passport after he was 16. But there appears to be some hope, because the Philippines will try to ask FIBA to allow Phil foreigners who played their college basketball in the Philippines and continue to play in the Philippines, recognition as locals and not as naturalized. So if that happens, pasok si Michael Phillips, pasok si Chris Newsome, pasok si Jamie Malonzo, and all the other, pasok si Xavier Lucero, all those Phil foreigners who played college basketball here and continue to play their basketball in our country. So let's hope for the best. And that's looking forward to 2023 FIBA World Cup.
One more comment before we go.
Yeah. Papasok ba sa 100 meters? I don't know about Eric Reyes going 100 meters.
Eric didn't qualify for the finals. He competed today in the heats, but he didn't make it to the finals. After he won the 400, he said he's still nursing an injury in his right glute. So he wasn't really like super fit for the 100. So he did not make the finals. That's in the men's 100 meters.
Okay, thanks, Diane, for that update. And here's another comment from Mugiwara Bruce PH. Good evening po sa inyo. Good evening sa inyong lahat. And
Good
Diane,
evening.
thank you so much for all your updates and all your videos and interviews. That's amazing how you're able to gather all these athletes towards you and to share their insights with our viewers from all over the world. I mean, I think it's just an eye-popping thing that we're being watched by Filipinos from so many countries around the world.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed our show. Of course, you know me, I love being around sports events. This is just like such a treat, although it's tough, but you know, it's so energizing to be around sports. It's inspiring. It gives us hope. It gives us something to cheer about, especially for us Filipinos. So thank you. And we hope that you can join us again on our next episode. And before we go, we want to thank our sponsor who made this show episode possible. Please check out our sister company, PlayitRight.com. They sell sports products, different sports, different brands, all super quality, great prices. Now that it's summer, I'm sure you're going to want to have something nice to wear or use as you get active. Okay, so that's
PlayitRight.com. That's where you can get molten basketballs. That's the official basketball of the Olympics and the World Cup. You can also get all your ASICS wear, shirts, apparel, shoes. They're the best in the world for a lot of sports, especially squash and badminton. Diane.
So tennis too, and running. Best
right,
shoes in the world.
We want to thank PlayitRight.com for always supporting us, Sona Corporation, the ASICS family. Thank you so much. And all of our viewers out there, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button so you are notified immediately. We've got updates and any new shows for you. Next episode from Hanoi with Diane Castillejo will be on Friday at around this time, but 9:30 p.m., depending on how quickly Diane is able to get back to her hotel room after doing the rounds of interviews. And Diane, it's almost like a 24-hour job you have there.
Well, the SEA Games kasi is so, like, it's all dikit. There's 39 sports, 600 Filipino athletes, more than 600. So, marami talagang nangyayari. So, it happens only once every 2 years. So, let's do it.
Well, thanks very much again, Diane. And thank you to all our viewers for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
This is Play It Right TV. I'm Kinito Henson.
And I'm Diane Castillejo. We'll see you next time. God bless. Mabuhay ang Filipino athletes. Yes.
Laban Pilipinas.
Laban.